talkaboutvaping.org. That's talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Hi, it's Tori DeVito. In every family, small conversations can make a big impact. Your honesty about that part of your life gave me a sense of integrity that I wanted to uphold in my own life.
I wanted you to know from someone who's been in recovery more than 30 years now that hard work is what creates success, not alcohol or other drugs. I said it a lot, and I'm glad you took it to heart.
For more information, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Sponsored by DHHS and aired in cooperation with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hi, this is Pastor Tom. Did you know there's a place kids can seek out help when they're away from home and something goes wrong? They find themselves in a difficult spot or even a dangerous situation. Maybe another child is bullying them or a stranger is following them. Perhaps on a date and things just go bad. In Lincoln, here's where they can find help. It's called Safe Place. Safe Place is a national program for children taking place in thousands of cities across the United States. The People City Mission is sponsoring this program in our community and has set up a number of businesses, fire stations, schools, and nonprofits around the city to become safe locations where kids can seek out help. They just need to look for the big yellow sign that says Safe Place on it. Then go inside and ask for help. We will be quickly connected to them and ensure they make it back home or to whatever resources are needed. If you'd like to find out more about Safe Place and ways in which you can get involved, just go to pcmlincoln.org. Remember, when we all do a little, we change a lot.
Welcome into Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Now here are your hosts, Jeff and Nicole Essig.
All right, welcome into the Fitness Fanatics. It is Sunday, April 23rd. This is my first show since April 1st.
Hasn't been that long.
Well, it has been that long.
2 weeks.
3 weeks.
Okay.
You weren't here last week
You can
either?
read the calendar.
No. Neither were you.
I was in Colorado.
Yeah.
Quandra Peak.
Well, I was in Green Bay.
Yes. For the Tecmo.
Oh, that's right.
Tournament.
I forgot about Tecmo
Yes.
Bowl.
So I was up touring Lambeau Field and I'll just
Without
a quick
me, without
just-
the Husker fan.
Just a quick story about that. So when I was a kid, well, I never really went to Nebraska games as a kid just because, nobody took me over. I couldn't drive over here. But when I used to come, once a year or once every other year, I remember when I'd walk into the stadium, it would be like, oh my gosh, this is the coolest thing ever, right? Which most kids, when they go in there, and it's like so cool.
You still think that when you go
I
in?
do. It's
Right.
just, it's kind of like,
I know.
I still take it in every time
It's-
coming into Lincoln. We're going across that when you got PVA and Memorial on your right and left, and you got the field right there.
Yeah,
I still enjoy it. Mallory, my girlfriend thinks it's kind of dumb every time we come into Lincoln. She's like, we
Wow.
drove past this a million times.
well, I know.
I know.
It's still cool, but when you
It
can
is.
see it all the time, it kind of takes. It's like not as cool when you're only going to go in there like once every other year or once every 4 years. But I used to walk in there, and we're like, oh, this is so cool. It's kind of how I felt going into Lambeau Field. Like we walked through the tunnel, we're down on field level, and I looked at my son. I was like, can you just look around and soak this in? Right? You can just kind of feel like all the great players that have played there, and you're looking up at names on the stadium. It's just like, even as a Bears fan, I was like, this is pretty cool. And the lady's like, no, right over there is where Leroy Butler did the very first Lambeau leap. And I was like, hey, can I go over there and jump on the thing? She's like, no, you can't do that.
I
I
don't think
tried.
it would be the same without the fans.
But it was pretty cool. It was a pretty cool moment. So before we get started, I just want to read a quick from our sponsor, ILC. Fitness Fanatics is sponsored by Integrative Life Choices. ILC is hiring direct support professionals all over the state of Nebraska, full-time, part-time days, evenings, and weekends. If you're interested, you can apply at ilc.net/careers. Direct support professionals work to ensure a meaningful life for the people they support. They work to support people in achieving their hopes and dreams. So appreciate them. Our guest on the show today is Becky Moratsky, who is kind of one of the big wigs at Integrative Life Choices. So she's going to be with us here at 9:30 to talk about what they do, and then also her Farrell's journey, as she has been a Farrell's member for 5 years. So we appreciate them. glad that she's able to make it in today. So we're going to talk about that. Just a little recap of our day yesterday. I'm wearing Husker jersey. Nicole's wearing a Packers shirt that we did buy her when we were at Lambeau Field, so we didn't forget about her.
You also, though, want to point out, because I had said, I really hope they took more than just the 2 pictures I've seen them post on social media.
That's all we took. I mean, we're guys.
Pictures?
Oh, we took a couple pictures. I mean, you have a 44-year-old guy and a 16-year-old teenager. Like,
well, and you said you guys were the only ones on the tour at that time.
Yeah,
it was a little weird too.
It was just the 2 of us and then 3 tour guides.
Yeah, 2 middle-aged dudes posting a bunch of selfies on social
I
media.
know.
Probably won't do too well.
Yeah.
So
Well, it was Ben, a teen.
Oh,
Dad.
yeah, Ben with you.
Yeah, Ben and Jeff. But so that's fine. They brought me back some swag. So
Yep.
I decided to wear it.
How did Ben like it?
Oh, he loved it.
Yeah, he loves seeing just any pro or college, like anything. So you guys also went to Camp Randall and kind of tried to peek around, but you didn't really get to see much.
Yeah, it's not like when you go to Nebraska, you can go into that one entry and walk down and just see everything. A lot of these stadiums you can't do that.
It's so cool.
It's just locked down. I'm like, well, okay, this is wow. I can see the outside.
Peek through a little gate or something.
A little bit. So I mean, we stopped at Camp Randall and took a picture there because we drove through Madison, and it was really hard to get to. It was just, I don't know, it was just kind of like, gosh, you got to drive through all this traffic.
Underwhelming.
I can't imagine a game day going there. Like
really?
Trying to
Is
get
that bad?
Yeah, it's just kind of tucked in and it's just kind of weird. So, but anyway, so yesterday, just a,
normal day.
Just to, I start off the day teaching the 5 a.m. class and Coach Bill Bush is in my class. That's all. Just, I mean, he's just taking class there. It's just no big deal.
The workout.
The defensive coordinator that beat Iowa. I mean, that's all. Kind of just, I mean, it's pretty amazing. So he's in there 5 a.m. He leaves, and then in walks Des Moines Adams, right? To take 6 a.m. I'm chatting up with him, and I mean, it's just pretty cool. Then we go down to the ticket tailgate. Of course, all the ticket, guys are there. Terrell Farley and Jay Foreman, and
Amon Green made his appearance for. I feel like that was the first time a lot of people kind of got to see him with the ticket crew, which is cool.
Yes. So we met Amon Green and chatted with him and just having a conversation, talked to him about coming on to the show, and so we were, when we were done, chatting with him, we were leaving, and I was like, all right, well, we'll be in touch. He's like, well, we'll be talking later, and I kind of felt like, if you've ever seen Wayne's World, right? And they're visiting
Chains, right? Isn't
Alice
it?
Cooper.
Oh, Alice Cooper,
right?
Yeah.
And Alice
you
Cooper
get
is
so
like,
offended when I make a
Alice in
mistake,
Chains.
and you say the most wrong stuff all the time, and then I say one thing. It's like,
well, but anyway, so they're
whatever.
Like, he's like,
close enough.
Why don't you stay and hang out with us? And they're like, yeah, we'll hang out with you. With Alice Cooper. And then they're just, we're not worthy, right? Have you seen Wayne's World?
Yeah, I've seen
Okay,
Wayne's World.
yeah.
Right.
So that's kind of how we felt. We're like, yeah, we'll be chatting with Amon Green here a little bit later. So
I do have to set the record straight because DP called me out last night on the after party. Not really. So we posted the picture on social media. I talked about this a couple weeks ago, but Amon Green is one of my favorite football players. Obviously, he played for Nebraska, played for the Packers. Like, I was already a huge fan.
Best to do it. One of the best.
Yeah. Yes. Right. Like, not a scrub. I feel like he was legit
a scrub.
I know. Well, no, you know
She
what
said
I mean.
Not a scrub.
Not
No,
a scrub.
I-
Not like
not-
a adjacent. Like, okay, well, this
Oh,
person,
okay.
whatever. So, anyway, well, and we've talked about how, Jeff and I met in '96.
Mhm.
I really started watching Husker football in '97. That was kind of the big breakout year for Amon Green. So it was my first introduction into into Husker football. Anyway, so I'd posted the picture of us with Amon Green, and then someone in the comments said, "Oh my gosh, I would have been, like fangirling so bad." And I said, jokingly, but not really, but kind of jokingly said, "Well, I did have to take a shot of tequila before
to calm her nerves.
to calm my nerves." But to set the record straight, what had happened was I'd ordered a margarita and I'd ordered it as a double, but they can't do double drinks, like it's illegal or something. So they bring you the margarita and a shot on the side.
Okay.
And so then it came out, and then Jeff's like, "Oh, my green's here." And then
We're like, huh?
Mark's giving me a hard time. Jeff's giving me a hard time. I'm like, "Shut up, calm down. Everybody calm down." I'm the only one not calm. And so instead of adding the shot to my margarita, I just took it. That's all. So it wasn't really
Cool the nerves a little bit.
Yeah, but not really. I mean, it was fine. And then I also commented that like it was totally unnecessary. He was totally cool, and we had a great conversation. So
Yeah.
just want to set the record straight. That's the real story, the whole story of that. I didn't say I got to go get a shot and ran in or anything. But
So then
very cool.
our son was there, and he's a big NFL guy. Of course, he wasn't around when Amon Green played at all, but
knows the name, I'm sure.
Yeah. So Ben's our son sitting there chatting with Amon Green about
awesome.
about Lamar Jackson, right? So we're walking to stadium. Like, Ben, you remember when you were chatting with Amon Green about Lamar Jackson? And he was like, "Oh yeah," like so. He thought that was pretty cool. Also, it was just a cool day. And then we went to the spring game, and we splurged a little bit. We sat up in the club level seating.
Oh, nice.
So we took an elevator up to our seats, and usually we're schlepping up to row 83 for our season tickets when we go.
We were higher than our season tickets.
Yeah, we were a little bit higher, but
obviously better because you're right there.
Yeah,
better view,
like the 30-yard line.
Yeah.
So we took that in, and we saw a couple members while we were, one of our members, Kurt Babbitt, who listens all the time. So shout out to him. We saw him up there walking around in the club level. So just chatting with him, and he introduced us to a couple of his friends up there. So, it was pretty cool. And then, we stayed and watched the first half, and, saw the whole tribute to Frank Solich. And so it was just a pretty awesome day. I mean, starts off with Coach Bush, goes to Des Moines Adams, goes to Amon Green, goes to the spring game. And then of course, Aaron Davis is, actual friend of mine. So that's pretty cool. Like, legit friend for the last 5 years, former Husker player. So just growing up in Iowa as a fan of Nebraska, and, I used to cry when they lose, and I mean, that whole thing. I mean, Harrison, you probably never cried when they lose because they've always lost.
I'm sure there's a moment, the Bo Pelini era.
A moment.
Yeah, the Bo Pelini. I mean, hey, I was still used to 9 wins.
Yeah.
That's what always, like, people don't, like, for the longest time, people didn't get that about my generation. Was like, no, keep Bo. And they're like, no, that's not the standard. And we're like, what do you mean? It's like that. That's all I've been seeing. So,
oh god.
But here we are. But hopefully we'll see what happens to Matt Rule. Would you guys want to dive into it too much? You guys do you have any overreactions though from a spring game, or were you pretty? I mean, the turnovers is probably the biggest thing people talk about, but
you don't really get too overexcited about really anything. I mean,
you can't win it, and you can't really lose the spring game.
When I talked to Ben, and we're like, oh well, we fumbled 3 times, and we're like, well, that's because our front seven's like the 2000 Ravens. I mean, right?
Yeah.
So then it's like, well, if the defense does bad, and it's like, well,
our offense
shoot, our quarterback's like Lamar Jackson out there. I mean, so we try to spin it in a positive way.
Yes.
No matter what happens. But I do think what was cool was I was getting ready for the tunnel walk, and I was always like, oh, it's going to be cool to see Coach Rule up there leading the team out. Tunnel walk comes on, the doors open, and he's nowhere to be seen. So he wasn't leading the team out of the tunnel. It was the offensive line that was kind of leading the team out. So I thought that was pretty cool. He didn't want to make it about him, being the first thing that people see on the screen. So, I mean, that was really cool to me to see that. And then I tried to I just never had my camera ready, but I was trying to take a picture of them lined up in the I formation.
Yeah.
like before you were born type formation, giving it to the fullback and stuff. So that was pretty cool. Just kind of seeing all that. But
my brother Houston did correct me though. He's listening. He just texted me. He said, you definitely cried at the Michigan State game at the rail yard.
The Michigan State game, which year would this be?
Would that have been 2 years ago, I think? Or last year? Michigan State, it was down to the wire. It was a night game.
Okay.
Was that last year or 2 years ago?
Well,
I can't remember.
When we punted.
We punted to the wrong side. We were supposed to punt it right. We punted it left, and they ran it in. It was that game. And there's 2 Michigan State fans in there. And I'll never forget that. It was just like all red. Everyone's just cheering, high-fiving already. Everyone thinks it's pretty much. Gosh. And then two Michigan State fans get up, whoa, and then just dead silence, crickets. Everyone starts walking out.
That's the
Yeah,
worst feeling.
when I was up at my Tecmo tournament, everybody up there knows I'm a Nebraska fan. I mean, my Discord name is JE Big Red, so I'm always wearing Husker stuff, and so they know I'm a Husker fan. And I was chatting with a guy from Michigan who's a Michigan State fan. He was like, "Yeah, I was at that game," and he's like, "I couldn't just." Even he was just like shocked.
Yeah,
Like, he's like, I mean, one of the best defensive performances you'll ever see. Holding Kenneth Walker like 15 yards the whole game until overtime, and then we just. But yeah, even he was like, "Oh, you just can't make this stuff up, like how they lose." So, you know, fans in the Big Ten. So it's just kind of nice talking to other fans of other teams, like,
yeah,
like, because though, you know, when I see these guys once a year, they're always like, "Well, how do you think Nebraska's going to do?" And I'm like, "Well, I mean, we'll see." But I'll tell you what was really fun is one of my buddies is an Iowa fan that I see once a year, and the whole day, I'm just like, "Hey, do you remember when Nebraska beat Iowa? Oh, it was great. It was great because I've known him for 7 years, and this was legit the first time I've been able to talk a little smack."
And you know what's funny now is now their argument is it's like, well, if you look at the last X amount of years, and it's like, so you're doing what we used to do.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Like, you want to compare history, not you can't. We still win in history.
And
so.
I kind of dealt with that stuff, just Iowa State rivalry. I mean, oh well, we've won 4 of 6. Well, you've lost 2 in a row, or it's just kind of even the Iowa State fans.
I mean, we all do that as football fans, like you said, with the defense and the offense. If we can spin it however we want.
Well, and all week last week, there's a little bit of talk about, there was an article about how many 4-stars Nebraska recruited and how many win the NFL. So on 80 and Raf show, The Drive, they were talking about it, and I texted in. I said, "Listen, we don't live in the past," just kind of tongue in cheek. And then Nick was like, "Jeff, unfortunately, we do live in the past. So we only live in the past. We pick and choose which past we live in."
100%.
So, well, anyway, so we got a few more minutes. Just wanted to kind of give an update. So over the next 6 weeks, we have.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about that guy.
Oh, okay, yeah. So. Real quick,
you Jeff's bugaboo or whatever.
Not a bugaboo. That's Bill's bugaboo.
I know.
No, it was just something that really irritates me. This was really irritating. So we go to the game.
I didn't even notice it. Even after you said something, I didn't see what you're talking about. But
we go to the spring game, and I see this. I'm always annoyed when I go to games and go to a Husker game and somebody's wearing a Notre Dame shirt. Why are you here?
Yeah, they come in. I see a lot of Longhorns still. For some reason.
Why are you at? I would never go to if I went to an Iowa State game, I would never wear a Nebraska shirt. Right?
You don't have to wear any team.
Right?
You just wear neutral. Just be neutral.
That's when I grabbed my Carhartt hoodie.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. We're going neutral.
Right. My son and I are going to an Royals game, right? Because he's a big Orioles fan coming up in a few weeks. And he has an Adley Rutschman jersey. He has this Orioles sweatshirt. I don't really have anything. So I'll probably just wear a Farrell sweatshirt, just be neutral. I saw a guy there wearing a Creighton sweatshirt. And I'm like, so David with Renew Your Auto, they have a commercial. And Rico's always on the commercial, talking about having a dented fender or something. He's like, "Don't be that guy." Okay. Well, this person wearing the Creighton shirt was that guy. Don't be that guy that's going to wear a blue Creighton shirt to a Nebraska spring game when, first of all, you lost to Nebraska.
Not even in the same sport.
Right. It's annoying, right?
They're not doing too well in baseball either. They had to postpone the game, but it was bases loaded. Bryce Matthews tied it up 4-4. I think it was bottom of the seventh.
That was kind of a scam too, how they just canceled the game when we're about ready to just blow it wide open.
Right. It's bases loaded, 0 outs.
Right. Let us get another hit, get the lead, and then cancel it, and then we can get the win. Right. But no, they cancel it and it was tied. So that was kind of stupid too.
I just don't understand what the reasoning would be.
To wear a Creighton shirt?
Yeah.
It's just so annoying.
I don't understand.
I don't know. I want to call him a J-Sker, but then why would you be wearing Creighton?
Right.
Because you would consider yourself, if you're a J-Sker, you're a Nebraska fan too. So you got to have some red in the arsenal.
Right.
Yes.
So unless he went there for
But for what?
I don't know. Malicious intentions,
know,
just to stir up. Maybe he's listening right now, and he's like, "I did
Oh
it. These
my
guys are talking
God.
about
Let
it. They're
us
mad.
know.
It worked."
That's right.
Well,
Yeah.
we don't know his name, so he's really not getting any.
I
you
never
know,
saw
glory.
who
but
you were talking about. Were they
It
in
was just
near our section,
obnoxious.
like, or did you see it and then told me about it later?
We're just walking like through
Oh,
through, going
I
up
didn't even
into
notice. But
into the concourse, and just like, seriously, dude.
no,
come
no,
on.
I can't really figure out the reasoning why.
Oh,
but-
just to be obnoxious. Like, I mean, come on, they lost too. Like, they lost to Nebraska in basketball. Like,
Yeah.
I just don't get it.
Right.
Like, that's what we went to a Big 12 championship game in 06.
That makes a little more sense. But
What
And
if it was innocent? He just had a dirty sweatshirt,
not-
and he's like, "I don't
no,
think
no,
people
no,
will
no.
care that much." And
maybe
here we are.
he
Just
didn't think it was going to be so cold. That's the only sweatshirt he had in his
It's
car.
not.
I'm trying to defend him, but I don't
Buy
know.
a sweatshirt.
That's
I don't
not-
agree with that
That's
either.
not innocent. Like, people don't just like, oh, I'm gonna throw on anything. Let's go to Nebraska football. Like, in our house, it's like, okay, the people, they will ask me if it's okay if they can wear something to the game.
I
'Cause
got a
am-
pass. Ben and I both got passes to wear black.
Yeah, because I'm like, oh,
Instead
it's
of red
It's a spring
yesterday.
game, but
Yeah,
if
that's
we're
fair.
if
Yeah.
we're going to a game, I'm not sitting with somebody not wearing red. Like,
And they were
Uh,
both
well,
Husker
okay,
stuff.
so-
We were both wearing Husker coats. They're just black instead of red.
If they wanted to do a whiteout, the problem you can never do it is because people are too traditional.
or
would you do it?
blackout or
Or
whatever.
would
Yeah.
you do it, or would you be like, "No, I'm wearing red"? matter
No,
what?
if it was like going to be like, or we stripe the stadium, right? So if they're like in section 35, you're wearing white. I'd wear white.
So you'd be down to like
I,
do something
absolutely.
Like that.
I
Okay.
would follow the rules.
Okay, you were
Yes.
scaring me for a bit. I
No,
thought you were like
no.
only red.
No, I'd follow the
No,
rules.
yeah.
Okay.
But like just normal, like people wearing gray, and when I'd go with my family, I'd always give them a hard time. Like, Chris, why do you have a gray shirt on
It's not
right
the
now?
sea of gray.
It's not the sea of gray. It's not the sea of white. It's not the sea of black. It's not the sea of whatever. It's a sea of red, right? So wear red to the game.
As long as they got some red, that's the only. They don't have to be all out red, but you got to be. If you're just wearing a white hoodie,
Not if you're going with Jeff.
Like, no, you can't sit with me unless you're in red. Just how it is. I mean,
You can do it with me.
you'd be upset. I've worn this
And-
sweatshirt, this white sweatshirt.
I mean, why though?
It's not the sea of red.
it's comfortable.
It's red, not white or black. I understand the black shirts, but come on,
Yeah.
the sea of red is not white. So that's
And
just that's a pet peeve of mine.
Yes.
It's definitely
yes.
not blue. It's
I've
not blue.
never
No.
gone. Yeah, at least you didn't wear a Creighton sweatshirt. So that's.
But we
that's
went
good.
to the Big 12 championship.
Yeah,
There
we went to the Big 12 championship game, and we're sitting in the front row of like the upper deck in Arrowhead, and we look down in like the little club level, and there's two people all decked out in Texas orange.
which means they had already bought their tickets.
Like, why are you-
And then
There's a
Why are
longhorn
you
wave
here?
at
What?
one point.
It's
Like, you
just
guys remember when they
annoying.
all sprung up? All of a sudden, there's a wave of longhorns in Nebraska. It happened when I
That's
was in
weird.
like elementary.
oh, okay,
Everyone
yeah.
started. I'm
Hmm.
trying to think. They must who their quarterback might have been.
Well, probably Colt McCoy.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
even then, like, why would you want to be a Longhorn
the-
fan after watching Soup just kill him? In that
True.
last game.
Who knows?
It's a weird time.
There's lots of
Listen,
that,
everybody
guys.
has problems. All right, so that's for just one
We
of
all
those,
have
those
identity
individual
crisis.
We all
problems.
have
Yeah.
our issues.
Well, so
So-
the next, before we go to break here, for over the next 6 weeks, we have a bunch of stuff planned, showing how dedicated we are to fitness.
Yep.
We're doing the Lincoln Half here in a couple weeks, and if you missed last week's show with Ann from the Lincoln Running Group, it was a fantastic show. Nicole led the way because I wasn't here, but it was just it was a great interview with her. She had such great stories. Like, we could have had her on
Oh, yeah.
every show for a month
Yeah.
to talk about all her running stories and marathon stories and stuff. So that was a great episode. So you can catch that on the ticketfm.com under our page for the podcast. But we have the Lincoln Half coming up here May 7th.
We're wildly unprepared for.
Oh, I'll be fine.
I ran for an hour on the treadmill this morning. You have not ran.
I'm happy for you. I was cleaning the gym.
You were supposed to run 5 miles today.
Well, it's 9:20.
You're not running.
It's
When's
not
the
over.
full marathon?
Well,
It's
it's
the
the same
same.
day.
It's the
Same
same.
day.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
2
May
weeks.
7th.
So I'm gonna
Yep.
have a guess for you later down the line. If he gets the time, he's got a chance for the Boston Marathon.
Cool.
Ooh,
Yeah.
but
So-
a friend of yours?
Yeah, he's been crazy into it lately. He's the guy I was talking about. Like, it'll be 11 o'clock at night, and like, he just keeps punching out workouts.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
So yeah, if he gets up there, he's pretty.
That'd be
he's
awesome to
Pretty
hear his
confident
story.
right now. His times look like he's gonna kill it.
Cool.
So
Yeah,
That
yeah,
would
yeah.
be great. Now, I wonder if we'll see if I I can beat him.
You won't.
There's no way.
Not
let's
even
see,
on your best time.
Let's see if I can
Oh.
my half time.
Oh.
Half.
Let's see if my half can beat his full time.
It won't.
Well,
It
what's the Boston Marathon? sub three
Yeah,
hours.
It's gonna be some sub 3.
We might be neck and neck running
won't
down
be
to the
neck
finish
and
line.
neck.
What's your best half?
My best half is like 2:35.
Fully trained. He has barely ran at all.
I ran a lot, just
No,
not
you
long
have
distance.
not.
There's a chance. We'll see what happens here.
There's not. There's no chance.
I remember a few years ago, one of our buddies, when we lived in Iowa, he was running into the stadium, finishing up the half, but he ran in and like everybody was cheering, and he was like, "Wow, I'm just getting this big standing ovation." And then the full marathon finisher just shot right past him. So he was the full marathoner. The winner of the full marathon was finishing, and he was coming in to finish.
So he thought it was
Yeah.
great.
Oh, he's like, there's this roar in the stadium, and like, here comes then he just shoots right past him. That was kind of funny.
That is funny.
But then in June, so we have Dam to Des Moines. So we're driving to Des Moines for a half in June, first week in June, June 3rd. And then Nicole and I are going to be trekking up Pikes Peak
Okay.
Mhm.
we're going to be gone from June 18th. So it's Father's Day. We'll be doing our show, and then we'll be heading up to Colorado. So we're staying in Colorado Springs, and we're going to be doing the 13.5-mile hike up Pikes Peak. So that's our next 6 weeks.
Mhm.
So a lot of physical fitness activity
Yep.
in the works. So I was kind of looking at the trail on Google Maps yesterday, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be.
Yeah, you better get going.
'Cause
Get training
We
here.
documented the highest we've climbed is 300 feet so far.
300 feet.
That was
Scotts
Scotts Bluff Monument.
No,
That's
the
pretty good.
Telegraph Pass was higher
Like
than
400?
that, but I don't know, but yeah,
So anyway, so we're going from 400 to 14,000.
We'll be fine.
We don't mess around. We go, and there's 2 trails you can do. One the whole way up, or one that's like half. We're doing the whole thing because we don't mess around.
We can do it. It's fine.
We
We'll
got
have
it.
2 half marathons under our belt by then, and
You guys will be.
We'll
You
be
guys will
fine.
good. That's not too bad elevation either. You won't be fighting for air.
yeah, and it's 6 to 10 hours. They say it's not gonna take us 10 hours.
The fitness fanatics will get up there in less than 10 hours.
less than 10 for sure. Yes,
We'll be ready. So we got that going on here in the month of June. And then in July, we'll be talking about this probably every show between now and then is the Husker road race, which is on July 6th. I know usually I call it off-road, which it's not
I was
off-road.
so nervous. I was gonna call it that last one.
On road.
It's road race.
It's on the road. That's coming up July 16th. So
And they did announce that it will be beginning and ending in Memorial Stadium
yes,
this year.
starting in Memorial Stadium and ending in Memorial Stadium.
It's a
So
way to do it.
Harrison,
Mm-hmm.
you better be getting signed up for this.
Yep.
Because
Everyone start racking up some miles.
it's only a 5K,
It's a
so you don't
5K.
need to rack up too many miles.
Oh, that's not
5K. It's so fun.
But
it's so fun.
the coolest thing about this, if you've never done it, is all the football players are there.
Mhm.
A lot of the coaches are there. Last year, usually the volleyball players
Do the
they
water
do
stop.
a water stop. The basketball players were there last year doing a water stop. Nicole got her picture with Fred Hoiberg, and it was just really cool. So like they have like a fan day, in August where you got to go wait in line for hours to meet a player.
way
This is
better.
like they're just some of the players run the 5K, but
Mhm.
they're all out there when you finish. Like you're just running through all the players. They're
The
all lined up at
cheerleaders.
the end. The cheerleaders, it's so cool. Last year, we took our picture with Casey Thompson. I mean, like.
Oh yeah, I think I
Every-
do remember that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
everybody's just so available. Hopefully we'll get a couple players on. Last year we had Nick Henrik and Ramir Johnson
Mhm.
came into the studio to talk about it. So hopefully we'll be getting some more players to come in and talk about that 5K. So
You are
that's a busy.
running us way
No,
over.
we're fine.
I
So
think Sam Hoiberg might be doing it.
okay,
Oh, that'd
Maybe
be cool.
him. I'd have to double check, but I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure he said something about it last time I talked to him.
yeah,
It's really cool. It's fun. It's a fun day. The players are out on golf carts. They're out there cheering you on. And
Mhm.
yeah, it's really, really fun.
Yep, and it was cool because last year some of the players knew who we were.
They did.
Hey
Yeah,
guys,
yeah.
Ooh, this is awesome.
Yeah, that was cool.
So
Very
anyway,
cool.
we're gonna get to break here. Hopefully, Becky's made her
She's
way
here.
into the. Oh, she's here. So we're gonna be joined by Becky Maratsky of Farrell's and Integrative Life Choices here coming up in studio. So don't go anywhere. 93.7 The Ticket.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln by offering a number of services. From group homes for special needs adults to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the intellectual and developmental disability services your loved one needs to live a fulfilling life. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a more rewarding career, learn more about available positions. Learn more about services for your loved ones or employment today at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices. You don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you with the highest quality roofing solution. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships. One with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America. Touching lives, securing futures.
Are you planting this spring? Make safety your priority. LES requires any landscaping or trees to be planted a safe distance from electrical lines and equipment to give crews safe access. Visit les.com/trees to learn more.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $20 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
Problem gambling can destroy an individual's finances, relationships, physical, and mental health. If you or a loved one are struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
Too many people believe that chronic pain, allergies, or illness are permanent and something you're stuck with. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness has been proving that error wrong for 29 years and changing lives for the better in the process. Their team is trained in the newest, most advanced pain-relieving techniques and ways to deal with toxins, allergies, pollution, and emotion that make you ill. Call today for a free consultation at 531-254-5695 or go to novotnynutritionandwellness.com. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness, located at 7th and Superior.
There's a new way to vacay when you fly LNK. Check out brand new service at the Lincoln Airport to some of America's favorite travel destinations. Catch convenient non-stop flights to Vegas, Atlanta, Minneapolis, Orlando, Austin, Dallas, or Nashville when you fly via Redway. With so many affordable options to from, planning your vacation has never been easier. Visit GoFlyRed.com and book today. Flights are public charters offered by Global X Air Tours LLC and operated by Global Crossing Airlines Incorporated.
This message is for Shauna, my mom, who just finished her high school diploma. I wanted to say I'm so proud of you for finishing school. You told me it's never too late to achieve your dreams. I hope to make you as proud as you have made me.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
You finally finished your man cave in the basement. Brand new furniture, huge TV, and all of your collector's items. You're ready for football season. You are so excited until one bad rain and it is all ruined. Don't risk a flooded basement and countless dollars in damages when it can be avoided. Call John Henry's today for a free sump pump estimate for your home.
435-5555, John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
Now back to Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
I better move over here. Oh, so my camera's all.
We're back. Okay, Jeff.
All right.
Ciao.
Well, I wasn't on screen, so I need to make sure I adjust. So
That one's got a loose swivel on there.
Oh.
So it's slowly like flip the other way every now and then.
Okay. All right. Well, welcome back here. We are joined in studio by one of our Farrell's members and instructors, and also I just keep saying one of the big wigs, so I don't really know what your title is at Integrative Life Choices, but Becky Moratsky is with us in studio. She kind of runs Integrative Life Choices, or a big wig there, right?
I hope my boss is listening to
Yeah,
that.
right.
So
yes.
he knows.
Yeah.
Oh, he'll agree.
Promotion.
Yeah.
Add it to the resume.
So I lead our people functions at ILC. So making sure that our employees have what they need to be successful is kind of where my expertise is.
So Integrative Life Choices is a sponsor of the Fitness Fanatics, so which is awesome. So we wanted to get we've never had a sponsor before, so we wanted to get our sponsor in to talk about your business, and also obviously you're Farrell's member and instructor. So we'll get to that here at the top of the hour, and coach as well. So tell us a little bit about Integrative Life Choices, like how you even got involved with them, how long you've been there, and what they do for the community.
Yeah, absolutely. So Integrated Life Choices supports people with developmental disabilities. And how we like to say it is in living a fulfilling life. So anything that any of us do on a daily basis, we provide supports for people to do the same types of things. I've been with ILC since 2016. Came back into the work field after being home with my kids for 8 years, and took a job that was just an HR coordinator position where I could kind of melt back into the workforce, and not a lot of stress and things like that. And it quickly leveled up a little bit for me there. But I am thankful every day for every little step of faith that took me into the position that I'm in now. I have worked for large headquartered companies in big cities. I've worked for some other companies in Nebraska, and it's really, really amazing when you come to a place and you find the place that is where you need to be because of who the people are who are running it, who work there. Definitely a commitment to doing the right thing always at ILC, and that's what keeps me there. Is that so? But yeah, that's what we do every day. Is we try to make sure that the people in our services get opportunities to live lives that have meaning for them. That's an interview question that we ask everyone who we bring into ILC is, what does a meaningful life, what does that mean to you? What makes life meaningful? Because those are the things we have to keep our eyes on in order to make sure the people in our services have those opportunities. So there's a lot of check the box type things that you have to do when you provide supports to people. We want to make sure people are safe. We want to make sure people are healthy. We want to make sure, this and this. But when it comes down to it, the opportunities to make decisions in our lives that I get on a daily basis, those are controlled at some level for the people in our services. So our goal is, how can we back off of that as much as possible and give people the opportunity to make the choices that they want to make? We know that people should eat healthy, right? But I, on a daily basis, will make a decision that's maybe not the decision that I should make.
That's hard for all
everybody,
of us,
right? Everybody
to eat healthy.
Right. So as people who work with, the people in our services, how can we say that, they're getting to live their fulfilling life if we are constantly being like, well, this is the healthy choice, so no soda for you, or things like that. So,
they're just not like, what do you want, McDonald's today? Let's just go get McDonald's
for sure. Of course, we want to provide, education and things like that, so people can make informed choices, but that choice always has to be there, just like it is for all of us.
So how does somebody get connected with ILC? I mean, are you like, you have partners in the city, in the community, in the state that they're like, okay, if we know somebody with a disability, like, we're going to partner them up with ILC. So how does that all happen?
Yeah. So the services that we provide, they are paid for through the state, through the Medicaid waiver, through the DD waiver. And so we partner with the state of Nebraska, DHHS, and the DD department there to provide those services. So the waiver spells out the types of services that providers provide. And then as a family member or a person with a disability, once you get approved for that waiver funding through the state, then you go look for a provider. And so we are one of those providers. And so we will talk to people who are looking for providers, talk to their guardians, talk to them, to their team, and try to figure out if we are a match for them. Our goal is to be a match for everyone, as many people as we can. We do that by really making sure that the services we provide are very individualized to the people that we support. So we don't love to have lists of, well, here, if you're coming into our day services, this is what you can do. It's really more like, hey, what do you want out of life? What are your hopes and dreams? That's a big thing for us. What are your hopes and dreams? And then we work to tailor our supports to be pointed towards everybody's hopes and dreams. So that's how people come to us. So if someone is out there, and is a guardian for someone and they have DD funding, then, you can have a referral and we can get in touch with people that way. If someone's out there and doesn't know, how to even get started in that process, because the process for funding like that is complicated, right?
Sure.
Contact us, and the people who work for ILC are so willing to help you, start to navigate that process. But our partners at the state are amazing, and they work with people to understand all that and get them the funding that they need. And of course, there's wait lists for things like that as well, all of those types of things. But they work with them, get them there, and then help them find the providers that work best for them.
So is it like you do 24-hour, like you have first shift, second shift, third shift? Because I know you're hiring too. That's something that we promote, and I know like the guys on the drive, because you do stuff with Aaron Davis and Chris Raff on the drive in the morning. So what kind of positions are you looking for, qualifications, stuff like that, if you're out there, looking to make a difference?
Yeah, for sure. So our entry level position is called a direct support professional. And it's not a position I had ever heard of until I started working for ILC, but it's a position that is so critical, and it provides the supports to the people in our services, but the skills that can come for someone who's just new to the workforce even, or wanting to be a part of that, are amazing. Like I always tell people that I think every single person should spend time in their life doing this role, because you get an opportunity to work with people who don't have the advantages that you have on lots of different levels, and to really see the struggles that someone has to go through just to do something like get out the door for work every morning.
Right.
So we provide services 24 hours a day in different service lines. On the residential side, we have group homes across Nebraska, and our direct support professionals work evenings, overnights, and weekends. And so they are at the group homes working with people, doing what you guys do in the evening as well. So if I'm an evening direct support professional, we get in, they're coming home from work most likely. So we're a little bit of decompression after the day, probably. At least that's what I do when I get home.
Yeah.
Getting things ready for dinner. We got to eat something. What are we doing? What kind of activity, if anything, are we doing tonight? Or is tonight like stay home, chill, and watch Netflix, which is what I do a lot of nights.
So my living my best life.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so providing the opportunities and choices for the people in the services, that's what they do. We have day service employees who work at our day sites. So we call them vocational sites. And the idea behind those is providing all sorts of opportunities throughout the day. And the waiver provides for a lot of different types of services that we can provide for, but mainly community integration is a key component of what we do. So we don't want the people we support to come to our day sites and sit there just together with themselves all day long. Our goal is to get people out in the community doing whatever it is. The people we support and our employees at ILC probably do more volunteering than anybody you'll ever come across on a daily basis. They're volunteering, whether it's delivering Meals on Wheels, whether it's going to the park and doing park pickup, those types of things, volunteering at animal shelters, things like that. So they do that kind of stuff during the day. We work to get people competitive employment if they're interested in that. And so direct support professionals support people in filling out applications, finding jobs. And then once they get that job, we have job coaches who are on that job with them, working with them through that. So so we're hiring across the state of Nebraska, and that entry-level direct support professional role is what kind of gets you in the door and gets you started. We provide comprehensive training on how to do that, because there's a lot to learn with that. But yeah, it's if you're looking for something that is not I'm tired of stocking shelves, man. I'm tired of customer service, like taking phone calls. Like, this gives you an opportunity to get out in the community, experience life right alongside of the people you're supporting, and provide people with opportunities.
Well, and like, I think sometimes we take a lot of stuff for granted. And just with us starting our Down to Box program over the last 5 weeks, with kids and adults with Down syndrome, just seeing some of the things that's, we take for granted that are just, just like driving ourselves around.
Right.
Like, you get in the car and you drive. Well, not everybody can do that.
For sure.
Or making dinner.
Yeah.
Or just doing the normal things that, like, I used to say, I the most times that I will get upset is when my satellite starts to glitch.
Yeah.
What is or we turn Netflix on and the thing spins. We're like, what is happening?
Or the time that closed captioning wouldn't come off of our TV and you were like, why is this happening to us? You literally said
stuff,
that.
right?
Why is this happening to us?
But doing something like that and helping others, gives you a bit different perspective.
Absolutely.
On life.
And it sounds like it's a great opportunity for your employees to do things that they wouldn't be able to do in their normal jobs too. Like, you're talking about those volunteer opportunities. That sounds incredible, because you get to be involved in the community too.
Yeah.
You're basically getting paid to do this volunteer work, which is awesome. And it's like double fulfilling then. That seems seems really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing I always like to mention is the idea of what the job is. That can be hard for people. Everyone has an idea when you've never done it before of what working with people with disabilities is like. And a lot of times that comes from social media and the things that we see there. And so I always tell people, the job that we do, I know what you see out there. You see those moments of victory, those moments of this is great, or this is something that for some reason the public thinks we should be celebrating. We live in those moments in between of that.
Yeah.
So we live in the work that goes into that. And I tell you, there's far more moments of that 2 steps forward, 2 steps back, 3 steps forward, 1 step back before you get to any moment of success there. And so DSPs are amazing to me because they understand that and they live in that moment and they keep pushing even when there's roadblocks that come up in front of them, and they keep just supporting people again. So, hey, we tried that. It didn't work. Let's do it again. Let's do it again until we get somewhere.
So where is it if somebody's interested in applying? Where can our listeners go if you're looking to make a difference in somebody's life and get paid for it, which is awesome? Where can they go to look up those different career opportunities?
Yeah, absolutely. Our website is the best place to go. So our website is ilc.net. And then /careers will get you straight to the careers page. But I would highly encourage anyone to check out our whole website just to kind of understand where we come from, because we do have a lot of people that come in with an idea of, I am coming in to change lives. And well, you're coming in to support someone in living their life. They'll decide if you're going to change their life.
Yeah.
So check it out. Again, it's the people that I work with on a daily basis. And again, I lead people. I do HR, payroll, training type functions, which, it's important. We have to pay the people. But I am on a daily basis amazed by our DSPs, our managers, our coordinators who do that work and just keep coming back every day knowing that, I have to push through the next thing today to get one person 2 steps forward.
Well, how long has ILC been around? Because I joined in 2016, started working for them, but how long have they been in the Lincoln community?
Yeah, so ILC started in Lincoln, Nebraska in 2006. And I love to say that because I don't think people realize this company that was homegrown here in Lincoln, in Nebraska, is now in the state of Colorado, is now in the state of Texas. And we're always looking for, what's that next opportunity for us to bring our ideas of what support should be and go into that arena. So homegrown company started by our CEO and our president down in Texas. They started with group homes in the basement of a group homes where their offices were. They were kind of still going to school and would take quarters to use pay phones to make phone calls that they needed to make during the day to get things going. So started from absolutely nothing in 2006. So we are, what does that put us at? 17 years?
I don't know.
17 years.
February 14th is our kind of official anniversary of when they started. So we
Wait.
celebrate Valentine's Day every year.
All right. Well, we are up against a break here. When we come back, we're going to talk a little NFL with Becky. We know who her favorite
I
team
know. I'm
is.
actually surprised she's not representing her team today. She didn't know it was going to be team day.
Oh, yeah, that's okay. That's okay. All right. We'll be back here on Fitness Fanatics 93.7 The Ticket.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful. I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman. Yeah, I recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back. Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
I will probably not touch the fuse box.
Sip, do you remember what happened last time?
Yeah, I remember.
What?
Half of the city block lost power.
And?
My chicken condo went haywire.
That's right. The chickens ran wild. So what do we do instead?
Call Joe at Ambition Electric and let him handle everything. Look, saved on speed dial.
Ambition Electric, 402-217-3415 or online at ambitionelectric.com.
Seems like just the other day, I was building my first house. I've seen many changes to our building market in Lincoln. It's been a fun road.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Build, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
You know, we hear this a lot where I don't want to live in a cookie cutter home. Well, let's come up with some answers on what we're going to build, where we're going to build it, and what it's going to cost. One thing that we started doing early on was we started building neighborhoods. I'm a firm believer in character in your neighborhood. Choice. I like variation. I like maybe something a little bit different in a neighborhood that you don't see in every neighborhood. I think it's great to have choices, its uniqueness, and I think that's what gives a neighborhood character. And I think that's what we've done over the years.
Make your dream a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics Club or Space Club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? No, forget that. How about a margarita club? Upside Bar and Lounge and join the best club in town. 10 flavors of margaritas like Maui Wowie, burnt pineapple, and mango tango. Try all 10 of them and receive your own souvenir margarita glass. Make it your new Monday night tradition. $4 margaritas and $4 taco baskets. Grab the crew and head on over. Monday nights or any night. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
You finally finished your man cave in the basement. Brand new furniture, huge TV, and all of your collect items. You're ready for football season. You were so excited until one bad rain and it is all ruined. Don't risk a flooded basement and countless damages when it can be avoided. Call John Henry's for a free sump pump estimate for your home.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing. Dig it in.
Sunday morning. It's quiet. Not in a weird, too quiet way. Calm. Tranquil. You pour yourself that cup of coffee. You slice yourself a hearty chunk of one of Beatrice Bakery's breakfast breads. Now, maybe you're an apple streusel guy. Nothing wrong with that. I can respect that. Personally, I'm a turtle nut man. Something about those pecans. But the real ones know, don't sleep on that date nut bread. Sweet, but not too sweet. Nutty, not overly. The perfect morning treat. Beatrice Bakery. Online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Smoked meats, amazing sides. The only problem when they fix you a plate is that at some point, that plate will be empty. But hear me out. What if that plate was never empty? That dream can be your reality with the Mary Ellen's Express Lunch Buffet. From 11 to 2 every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and even Saturday. One price, all you can eat, and it even comes with a drink. Tell your boss you're taking a long lunch and get down there. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul at 29th and Pine Lake. Let them fix you a plate.
Are you planting this spring? Make safety your priority. LES requires any landscaping or trees to be planted a safe distance from electrical lines and equipment to give crews safe access. Visit les.com/trees to learn more.
Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary.
We were trying to convince Austin, who will be having a child in October, to name his child Herbie. Why do we want to name it Herbie? Because we want to have a real-life Herbie mascot, and it'll stay within the family.
Yep, Austin's just the patriarch. This is the first Herbie.
And we found out today that Herbert is a family name.
It's a family name.
Therefore, it's meant to be.
It's going to be the patriarch for Herbie.
Weekdays from 2 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Now back to Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, we are back here. We got Becky Moratsky from Integrative Life Choices joining us. So real quick, just got a few minutes here. We always like to talk NFL with our guests.
But you're not an NFL fan.
No,
Not
she's
at all.
a casual NFL fan. So
Not at all.
who's your favorite NFL team?
Oh, everyone's going to roll their eyes at me.
And how did you become a fan?
Yeah,
that's the more interesting
Excellent.
part of the story.
Excellent. Well, I am ride or die Kansas City Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
And before you call me a bandwagoner, I've been a Kansas City Chiefs fan for 24 years.
Do you have any visual photographic evidence of you wearing a Chiefs thing for 20 years ago?
Absolutely, I would. Absolutely, I would. I also have just seared into my brain, a playoff game in 2003 where they played the Colts and ended up losing.
Oh, I remember
and
this.
Nobody punted the whole game, right?
Yes.
There was not a single punt. Those were back in the Dick Vermeil days where we had amazing offenses and they would score and score and we had no defense and the other team would score and score. I think we started 9-0 in 2003 and we lost in the first round of the playoffs to the Colts.
A really good
go.
story for you. So when Joe Montana went to the Chiefs and they played the Bills in the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
Joe Montana got injured by a defensive end. His name was Phil Hansen. Okay. Knocked him out of the game. Chiefs lost. Bills went to the Super Bowl. Bill Hansen was the cousin of the person who married Nicole and I.
Of the pastor who married us, which
The
is
cousin.
the dumbest.
Hey,
Who knew Kevin Bacon?
injured,
basically.
injured Joe Montana.
Yeah.
Wow.
Our pastor's cousin injured Joe Montana. Isn't that a cool story?
Not really.
That's amazing.
I know.
So that's funny. My best friend is a Chiefs fan, and we always talk about that. Like, oh, remember Pastor Steve's cousin injured Joe Montana? Yep, we remember.
Yeah.
So,
But you're also a Royals fan too.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So you have a
rough,
Kansas
guys.
City connection.
It's rough. It's
so how'd you
not-
become a fan of the Chiefs? Like, were you raised there? Like, how'd you become a
No,
fan of
I'm
Kansas City?
so I'm Nebraska born and raised, which then bleeds into all of my sports fandom. So
Okay.
that base that you are endowed with as a Nebraska born Husker fan translates when you move to other places. I've learned
to other sports and teams.
So
yeah.
we moved to Kansas City after Matt graduated from law school. And we were fans before then, but when you live there, it definitely becomes part of who you are. So
Mhm.
I would say, I really dove in full head first in around the year 2000, 2001. And just, I thought that's how everyone is like Nebraska fans are. I thought you go there and that's your life and that's who you are now.
Right.
So I did, and I have been, and it's helped me as a Husker fan to go through the last 20 whatever years that we've gone through, to be a Royals fan, to be a Chiefs fan. All of my sports teams, you learn lessons in perseverance, and that you have to have some bad times before you get to the good times. And we've been really lucky as Kansas City fans that even in the past 10 years, we've won a World Series. We went to 2 World Series. We've won 2 Super Bowls now. Been to 3 Super Bowls lately. So lucky that we've seen that. It'll be another 25 years before the Royals get back anywhere. But the Chiefs are in it for the long haul right now. And it's a great time to be a Chiefs fan.
And you can thank Harrison and I, who are Bears fans. Like,
we always.
You can thank
Daily
us
Jeff, I
for
think.
not drafting Patrick Mahomes. Okay, so you're welcome. And anytime you want to send us some royalties, that's fine.
We'll
take it.
It's taken years for me to truly believe that he's our quarterback. because if you know Chiefs quarterback history, it was, who can we get for years and years and years? And we had some people who were decent quarterbacks,
like Trent Green,
Trent
Elvis
Green.
Gerback.
Yes,
those guys.
Alex Smith.
Yep,
was
good.
Was a quarterback. He was a good quarterback.
Yeah.
But it's just a whole nother level when you get one of those once in a lifetime
Well,
quarterbacks.
Unless you're a Packers fan, because then you get multiple in a lifetime.
Harris and I will let you know when we have that feeling in our lives. So, but I've never had that feeling as a Bears
Harrison
fan.
has something to
We
say.
might. Yeah, I'm not off the field train yet. We'll see what happens.
Well, 45 years on Earth, and the Bears' last great quarterback I always hear was in the 1940s. So, with Sid Luckman, right? That's the last great quarterback the Bears have had. So,
I don't think the Chiefs have ever done any cool rap videos like the Bears.
yeah, we'll always have that. Yes,
right,
the
you
Super Bowl
have
shuffle.
that.
So,
yep.
All right. Well, we are up against the break. When we get back at the top of the hour, we're going to dive into Farrell's and Becky's journey over the last 5 years. So we'll be back on Fitness Fanatics 93.7 The Ticket.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln by offering a number of services. From group homes for special needs adults to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the intellectual and developmental disability services your loved one needs to live a fulfilling life. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a more important career, learn more about available positions. Learn more about services for your loved ones or employment today at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
Sunday morning. It's quiet, not in a weird, too quiet way. Calm, peaceful, tranquil. You pour yourself that cup of coffee. You slice yourself a hearty chunk of one of Beatrice Bakery's breakfast breads. Now, maybe you're an apple streusel guy. Nothing wrong with that. I can respect that. Personally, I'm a turtle nut man. Something about those pecans. But the real ones know, don't sleep on that date nut bread. Sweet, but not too sweet. Nutty, overly, the perfect morning treat. Beatrice Bakery. Online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
Shopping for insurance can be a frustrating and tedious task. Brokers Insurance Agency in Lincoln has a full staff of licensed professional agents who will do the work all for you. Brokers utilizes over 20 insurance companies to save their clients money. Brokers Insurance Agency will always do what is in the client's best interest and will find the best program to fit your needs. Call Brokers Insurance Agency today at 402-420-5353 to get a quote today, or find us online at brokersinsurancene.com. Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mix Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical, and retirement benefits, paid time off, and we pay for CDL training. Apply today to earn an average total compensation of $50,000 to $60,000 your first year driving. From Nebco's beginnings in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
Hey there.
Hi, honey.
Uh-oh.
Remember we told Jamie and Mike about Liberty First Credit Union, how great their checking account and car loans are, the amazing service we get, and how we love.
Yeah.
Well, they took our advice. Jamie said how easy it would move all their accounts and become members. Now they say they're banking with purpose at Liberty First Credit Union.
Learn more about being a member at libertyfirstcu.com. Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose. Member NCUA.
Elway Power Sports Lincoln is celebrating their grand opening on Friday and Saturday, April 28th and 29th. Stop by for free food, door prizes with chances to win an autographed John Elway jersey and more. Check out their brand new Indian Motorcycle Boutique with the demo truck on site for demo rides all day Saturday. Over 600 machines in stock from major brands like Can-Am, Kawasaki, Yamaha, Polaris, Sea-Doo, and more. New owners and new attitude. Check out Elway Power Sports of Lincoln on North 7th Street for their grand opening on April 28th and 29th.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Experience cool blue waters right in your backyard. All in-stock above-ground swimming pools at Bonsall Pool and Spa are now 50% off. This offer is good through the end of May or until supplies run out. Our stock will go fast, so hurry in and claim your new pool now. And don't forget to stock up for the season with our spring chemical sale for any new or existing pool. Learn more at bonsallpool.com or visit us at 33rd and Highway 2. Bonsall Pool and Spa, every day made better.
Hey guys, Nick Sainert here for The Body Shop.
I recently had an incredible massage from Dennis and his team at the Body Shop, and now a massage for you can possibly turn into a free massage for your mom. That's right, with every service you receive in April, your name is put into a drawing for a free massage gift certificate that can turn into a wonderful Mother's Day gift for the mom in your life. Book your appointment at thebodyshoplincoln.com and stop by their location at 48th and A. The Body Shop.
Welcome into Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Now here are your hosts, Jeff and Nicole Essig.
All right, welcome back into the Fitness Fanatics. We had a great first hour. If you missed any part of the show, you can check us out on theticketfm.com under ticket weeknights and weekends. We're under there, Fitness Fanatics. We're also right now on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Allo channel 951. So you can just get in your recliner and watch.
Goes all the way up until 3 a.m. too. So if you really like the ticket, watch that 3 a.m.
So
now.
you guys just replay?
Yeah, so usually after the last show of the night, it's replay. So if you just go to Allo TV or Twitch, you can watch Ticket through the middle of the night if you really want to.
Do we get the 2 a.m. time slot?
Sometimes you guys have been on at 2 in the morning every now and then.
Yeah, yes. If you're a little down, you can turn us on, get a little pumped up. All right. So, Becky, we want to get into your fitness journey. So we want to start when you were younger, right? So where did you grow up in Nebraska? Were you involved in sports? Were you athletic? Did you do anything athletically at all growing up in school? So let's start back there so we can get to know you a little bit.
Sure. I'm a farm girl. So Nebraska farm girl, again, born and raised, grew out outside of Lincoln in kind of the Lincoln Crete area, went to school in Crete. So shout out to everybody from Crete because I like that place. So I wanted to be athletic more than anything in the whole wide world.
Okay.
I really did. And I am not. I'm not, but it's okay. I did do things in high school. I played basketball, and that was going to be my sport. And
I think that you're like the opposite of me, where I am athletic, but I'm not competitive. But I think you have too much of the competitiveness.
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
Yes.
That maybe held you back a little bit from the athleticism because your competitiveness probably took over.
Yeah.
Anyway, keep going.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. I was going to play basketball, and I was really good at shooting, and my parents sent me a lot of shooting camps, and we had a person who did shooting camps in Crete, and I learned a lot from that. And so I probably could have been okay, but I'm not fast. and Nicole knows that. She's run with me before.
I'm not either.
But even when I was young, I was never fast. I did letter in track my freshman year of high school. Because I'm pretty sure the head coach just felt so bad.
That's why I lettered in soccer.
And so I have an athletic letter.
Me too.
I gotta be honest. I'm a music kid. And even now as I run, I listen to show tunes when I run. So not big into sports. I was the captain of the cheerleading, the football cheerleading squad my senior year of high school, and I did enjoy doing that. That kept me active. But you're right. I'm super competitive.
Yes.
And so the fact that I'm not good at sports, I'm a fantastic sports fan.
I think you're just almost too competitive.
Yeah.
To have let that, not that you're not athletic, but like, I feel like you're the type that gets really wound up, and that probably got in the way of your ability to, when you're seeing red because you're super competitive, it's probably hard to see the basket or see the lane.
So my freshman year of high school in basketball, I ran a poor small girl over on the basketball court. I just stuck my shoulder down. We were losing. I don't think we had scored a point. It was like the third quarter, and we were down probably 20 something to nothing because we were just, it was rough that year. Bad Crete freshman basketball year. And she was standing there just doing her job, playing defense. And I was like, what happens if I just go? Will she move? She didn't. I got thrown out of the game. And thus
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Probably. I'm tough.
That does not surprise me at all.
Like I'm tough and I will like push through things. But as far as like the skill to like be like to be able to actually like put it all together, it's just not there. But I can critique it and I will watch it and cheer for it. And I'm really good at that. And I will make nachos while it's happening.
Yeah.
Well, hey, at least you played.
Yeah.
You played in the games. I mean, unlike me, who played at
Freshman.
halftime.
Right.
When the coach and the real players went in let's talk about what we're gonna do. I was out there playing. I was
As a
like
junior.
I was the halftime entertainment.
Yeah.
And I was
D-team.
hitting threes but I never get into the real game.
No.
I'm just like way down at the end of the bench. Just, Coach, did you? Oh no, you didn't see me during halftime because you're in the locker room talking to the team.
For sure.
Didn't the assistant coach relay the information? I hit a three. Like, come on, get me out there.
If you count marching band as a sport, maybe that.
Well, I'll tell you
count.
about the theater. Our kids did children's theater when we were in Des Moines. They had a what was the cap? Yes, and they did all kinds of musicals in Altoona.
Yeah,
and our kids were never in sports either. But we always thought like being in the theater kind of teaches them the same things that sports does, right?
And marching band.
Marching band, teamwork, like working as a team. They
public
speaking, which is like if you take a poll, public speaking is like people's the fear. They fear the most is public speaking. So yeah, speaking I remember when Ben had a solo lines, and
He
we
was
were
the
like,
King of Hearts.
He was the
in
King
Alice
of
in
Hearts.
Wonderland.
Yes.
Yeah.
Spotlight goes on him, and Nicole are like, "Oh my gosh, we can't, we can't even take this." Like, I don't even know what we would have done if our kids played sports.
I would have been stressed
we
out.
were nervous wreck for his 2 lines.
Yeah.
For a solo as the King of Hearts.
Yes.
But it teaches you a lot of the things that sports teaches you. Also being competitive because you want to do the best, and they have to try out for parts, and so the public speaking is the main thing, because you're not public speaking playing sports, right?
But you're
in the
on
theater,
display. It's public performance.
Yeah, public performance, but not like public.
But I was just
speaking.
talking to Jane, one of our members, who has had Ben in the drive-through a couple times at Culver's, and she always remarks at how good he is at it. And I really think theater has helped him with that, because it's almost like a performance to him. Like, he loves it. He loves putting on his little custom, because he is not that courteous at home by any means.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not rude, but he's just quiet. But when he puts that little Culver's hat on, it's almost like a performance to him, which is really cool. So yeah, marching band totally counts.
Yeah, don't sleep on marching band.
Yeah.
It's tough.
It's competitive.
Yes.
I was a marching band mom. None of my kids are in band anymore, but when my first one was, like, it's cutthroat.
It stresses me out too.
Mom to mom, it's a little bit cutthroat, so it but I love it. It's great stuff. And those are my soulmates, the kids that I did band with, the kids that I did musicals with, those are forever. There's some connection there, just like sports.
So fun. Yeah.
Yo, Benson, he does marching band. So, and I did marching band. I was the trombone player.
I was too, Jeff.
Oh, yes.
Oh my gosh.
I had to quit though. It gets intense. They start doing
You had to
the
quit.
when they start. Well, I was done. They start. When you start going over each other's heads with the trombones, you'll see it where like they'll go up, the other ones go side. They started doing that, and I was like, I'm out.
I can't do that.
I'm gonna hit someone in the head.
Trombone players are a special breed.
That is funny.
That's real.
Of course, Harrison also
I
plays
tried to
trombone.
get Ben to play the trombone, but he's a trumpet player.
He likes his trumpet.
So yes. But
Okay.
all right.
So
So,
no
anyway,
illustrious high
No.
school, college sports career.
Nope.
Yeah.
And then straight into being a mom. I
Mhm.
had Kate when I was 19. Matt and I got married when I was 19. Yeah. So
Mhm.
we're a year behind you guys. We're coming in on 24 this
Right.
year.
Mhm.
Ooh.
Yeah, and went straight into working and trying to finish school there. And so any thoughts of doing that, gave way to having kids and growing up kids. And so kind of lost all of that when it comes to taking time for myself in that process of raising kids, which I still am raising kids. They're not gone.
Right.
They still live there. But
they still live there.
They turn into like
They take care of themselves at a certain point.
They go from, if you've ever had fish are really hard to keep alive. So I think babies are easier to keep alive than fish. So like babies start as fish, but by the time then they're kind of like houseplants. So like our kids are like houseplants.
They're just there.
You just got to keep an eye on them.
You got to feed and water them.
for sure.
They have
Make sure they get up.
resources.
Yeah.
So you're in the houseplant.
Yeah, and I come
Time
from
of
I come
parenting.
from a family. My mom's side and my dad's side. On my mom's side, we are definitely a hardy bunch, right? So we are built we are built of stocky stock. So when it's just naturally there anyway. And so there wasn't a lot of taking care of myself for lots of years. And I would try things. I was just like everybody else who, here's the next best thing that's going to make me happy. And that was what was always in my mind. When I lose weight, when I get to this, then I'm going to be, then I'm going to be there, and my life's going to be exactly what I want it to be. And it turns out like 15 years of life went by with me just existing in that and being afraid to do things and being, quite honestly, embarrassed about who I was for a lot of years. And so 2018 January. So it was the New Year's resolution, probably the 15th or 16th New Year's resolution that I had to do something about my health.
In a row.
Yep,
right?
yeah, for sure.
Right.
Here we go.
I know.
It's like Nebraska's off-season national champions. We're on like a 25-year win streak.
Right. That.
All right, here we go. Our number 16 New Year's resolution. So what made you decide, like, how long did you know about Farrell's, and then what made you decide to join that 10-week challenge?
Yeah. So probably 4 or 5 years before I joined, a friend in Omaha had done Farrell's, and I didn't even live in Nebraska at that point, but I saw what she did and was just amazed at what she did. And she became an instructor at that point. And so I knew there was this program that she had done and that she had great success. So, you start looking at websites and you're like, oh, look at that. And then it was, you read this extreme body shaping and you're like, oh, okay, what's that? So then we moved to Lincoln, and I spied on that website for probably a year and a half. And finally, Matt said that he would be willing to do it with me. And that's been a key to my success, is that we did it together.
Yeah.
And we were both at a point where, I mean, Jeff, you talk about your journey a lot, and, the insurance thing, and we were not healthy people. We were not in good shape, and we weren't old by any means, right? We were in our mid 30s, and the thought of, I have to do something. Like, this is no way to keep going. We signed up for that January session. I told friends and family that I was doing it, and there were people who, not in a mean way, but they laughed at me. Like, you're going to do what? And I probably was inside not thinking I could do it either. And walked into that gym on the first day, making dumb jokes about myself, which is what I do to mask any sort of feelings that I actually have about things. And just started, and it was immediate. Like, I have never had such a moment in my life where there was an immediate moment of, wait a minute, this is very, very different for me. But it took not just 10 weeks, but probably a year of relearning, like, who I was as a person and the things that had prevented me from reaching any goals, and then unlearning just those toxic ideas that everybody has about what health is.
Yeah.
And Farrell's gave that to me, and that is something that I will, for my whole entire life, be so thankful that I have. And that's what I try to give to the people I coach, is that, yep, you have ideas of what you want, but you have to understand that, everyone's journey is a little different, and everyone has different needs about what they need. And I look at my day one pictures all the time, and I'm so thankful to that girl who walked in that door, who wasn't afraid. She's way more brave than I am now, because she didn't think she could do it, and she did that anyway. And so I'm so thankful for her.
Well, and a couple weeks into your 10-week challenge journey, you get news that the gyms have been sold.
Yeah, that was real.
Who the heck are these new owners moving from Iowa to come take over this gym that I just decided after 2 years I was going to join?
Yep.
Here we go. What's going to happen? And in come Nicole and I.
Yeah,
we did.
So you were part of. We took over in the middle of the winter of 2018. So there we have a few people still with us from that group. You and Matt, Jeff Watson still comes.
He was on our team.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then he moved to Kansas City.
He did.
They moved, so him and his wife come.
Yeah.
Rod Hill still comes. He was in that group. So I mean, it was a small group, but there's quite a few that are still here after all that time. So we moved here not knowing anybody and just jumped into the challenge. And I don't remember, when I see pictures of you guys, like, you posted a picture on the group page, like, I don't remember you looking like that.
Yeah.
Or Matt looking like he did when I don't remember that at all.
Right.
So it's just kind of, so here we come, took over and here you go. You're still here 5
Yeah,
years later.
5 years later, it's again, it has made, I tell people this all the time, it has made all the difference for me, not just in fitness, but in, I had started at ILC a couple years before that. And again, the skills and what I've learned about myself through Farrell's has helped me be successful in my career. And in how I operate with people there. Just this idea that you don't have to have any preconceived anything to do the things that you want to do. I can go out and I can run a half marathon with wherever I am. I can train and I can do that, and I don't have to get down to some perfect ideal place in my life to be able to do that. Or I don't have to be concerned about what I'm doing right now because I need to be some sort of something else before I do that. And so I don't know why I needed to learn that, but I did. And then the idea that I can still incorporate the things that I love about food and those types of things and still be healthy about it has been game changing.
Well, and I think that's such an important part of the journey, because you come into it thinking, like you said, okay, you'd already looked at all the before and after pictures and you're like, okay, that could be me. You know what I mean? And then you get into it, and the most important thing that I wish more people could get out of the 10-week program, or just out of starting something, is realizing that it's okay to change your mind about what success is within that program. Because is it realistic to look at someone's after picture when their before picture looks nothing like you? That's what most people do. They find the best after picture and think, okay, if I do this, that's what I'm going to look like in 10 weeks, when that's not what you looked like. You didn't look like their before picture. And who cares? There's so many things that can go into why you may never look like that. But then to realize and have those little wins along the way where you realize, you know what, maybe being the smallest version of myself is not the goal. Maybe I just want to be healthier, but I still want to be able to eat birthday cake on my kid's birthday, or, and I think that's where a lot of people miss when they sign up for anything that's a set amount of time. Set a goal. That's great. Goals are awesome. But you can also change those goals.
For sure.
Right. And you can become whatever you want, and you don't have to wait until you see that number on the scale, because maybe it's not worth it to you to ever see that number on the scale. And that's okay, because you're healthy and you're active. And the thing that I like about looking at before pictures for people, it's not really the body transformation. It's the way people carry themselves, and it's the health that you see in people's faces. I mean, how many times, Jeff, have we seen before and after pictures where people have just dark circles and they just look so unhealthy in their before picture, and then in their after picture or just later, they're just brighter and healthier, and it has nothing to do with the number on the scale. So I think that's something that you've done such a good job of embracing throughout your time. And I think that helps you as a coach too, instructor, showing people this doesn't have to be our goal. It has to always have to be the smallest version. I want to be the healthiest version of myself.
Yeah. And I was the world's worst perfectionist. It was all or nothing. Either I'm going to do great or I failed. And so understanding that there is an in between there is super important.
Lots of in betweens,
for sure.
Yeah, lots of in between. Sometimes, and I've seen these, kind of memes before where you can measure success, depending on where you're at in your journey. So success is measured by, seeing a cupcake and saying no to that cupcake is success. But for some people, seeing that cupcake and allowing themselves to have it and not have it spiral and make the whole next 6 months be cupcakes every single day, that's success for people too. And you have to find what works for you. You have to find that puzzle piece for you and stop trying to cram, the little circle into the square peg. Move it over one and you're going to have success. So you really have to find. And it's a decision you're making constantly. It's not a 10-week commitment. It's something that you're constantly making. And just like you said with ILC, sometimes it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back, but you always have that base to come back to.
Yeah. It took a long time to get that mindset out of my head of I had a bad day today, whether it was with nutrition or whether I didn't get a workout in today. So tomorrow I have to feel bad about myself because of what happened yesterday. And I don't have any of that anymore.
Good. Yeah.
I have to run this half marathon in a couple weeks. And I do know I haven't trained the way I'd want to. And I feel a little bit bad about that because it's going to hurt. I do know that. But again, I don't feel bad about the choices that I made yesterday because I'm making those choices. They're not controlling me anymore.
Yeah.
And that is such a shift change. Even if I want that cupcake, like I'm making that choice for that cupcake. It's not that I can't control myself from eating that cupcake.
Yeah.
Well, it's about developing a relationship with food.
Yeah.
Like a healthy relationship to food. That's why if you do something where you're just starving yourself and eating super low calorie for a quick fix, that's not fixing the main problem. The main problem for most everybody is right here between the ears.
Absolutely.
It's all mental. So the quick fixes, yes, are good in the intermediate time in the beginning, but if you're not changing mentally and developing a good relationship with food, so you can eat your cupcake on your kid's birthday, or you can have a beer at a game, and it's not going to be, you're not just going to be spiraling out of control for the next month because you're allowing yourself that now you have developed good relationships with food, and it might take years to get those relationships. We still struggle to this day, relationships with food, because it's just an ongoing thing that you always have to be conscious of. Our gyms are by Honest Abe's, and walk out and the smell is just, it just takes over your whole life. It seems like, oh my God, this is amazing.
We got cupcakes right over there too. I
I
think
know.
you guys are trying to
I
deter
saw
me. They
those
look really
cupcakes.
good. And
I know. I saw those after the last break.
Well, I wonder who brought those in.
Mark, your $10,000
Yeah.
calendar.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You must
see,
have trying to get rid of them.
Mark's a good example of having a good relationship with food because he's bakes.
An amazing baker too.
Yes.
And so he'll bake stuff and not eat what he's baking.
Yeah.
Like, we bake
And
something
also
and I'll eat the whole dozen cookies.
Yeah, we have to be careful with that. Also, we saw him at the ticket tailgate yesterday, and he's drinking a beer, and it was much larger than he expected.
It's like a
But
goblet.
again, it's a giant margarita, but it was with beer. But he still he drank it, and it was fine. It was not the end of the world. He'll make an adjustment,
yes.
and he'll move on with his life. Where we talked in the past, that could have been like, well, I already screwed up, so I'm gonna have all this other stuff too. Let's have 3 more. Let's so. That part is super duper important.
Yeah, and from the text line, Bubba says, "Good reminder. So glad my wife and I heard this morning." And it really is that just sometimes a reminder. It's easy to get caught up. I see pizza on game day, I'm not going to think about it. But you just remind yourself, I don't need to eat 5 slices. I'm good with 1 or 2.
Right. Yeah. Or if you just had something yesterday, you don't need to have it again today. Like the cupcake sitting there, or whatever. I remember when I worked at John Deere, people would bring in donuts, and I would really struggle mentally, and you go all day holding out, and you're like, man, I really hope there's none left by the end of the day. And then there is, and you take 3 of them home, you eat them on the way home.
You almost
this was in my 20s, it happens to everybody. And now I can, we went to Hertz Donuts yesterday after the game and brought some home, and I had a couple donuts for dinner last night, and it wasn't that out of control feeling. It was like, I plan to have this, and
Well, and I think we saw a couple members, we saw Kurt, and there I'm eating a hot dog, and it's but I want our members to not look at us like, oh, they never eat anything bad. Like, I don't want anybody to feel ashamed because they're drinking a beer in front of us.
No.
It's like we're right there getting our tacos and margaritas and just having fun, because that's what life is about. You don't have to be super restrictive all the time, because you're just kind of, now some people can do that. Okay.
Yeah, we're not telling people if you've never had a cupcake before, don't just start eating cupcakes because we said that you can. If you don't like cupcakes, then fine.
I don't eat Nutella for that reason, because I've never had it, and I know if I eat it, I'm gonna absolutely love it.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I just stay away from
That's a good idea. But then, on the other hand, I got up this morning, I ran for an hour on the treadmill, I had a protein shake and an apple on the way here. So it is about balance. Yeah.
Right.
It's fine.
Right. All right. Well, we are up against a break. When we come back, we want to talk a little bit about instructing and coaching with Becky, because not only did she do Farrell's, but she's also taken a couple steps up within the program. So we'll be right back here on Fitness Fanatics 93.7 The Ticket.
Sunday morning. It's quiet, not in a weird, too quiet way. Calm, peaceful, tranquil. Pour yourself a cup of coffee. You slice yourself a hearty chunk of one of Beatrice Bakery's breakfast breads. Now, maybe you're an apple streusel guy. Nothing wrong with that. I can respect that. Personally, I'm a turtle nut man. Something about those pecans. But the real ones know, don't sleep on that date nut bread. Sweet, but not too sweet. Nutty, not overly. The perfect morning treat. Beatrice Bakery. Online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
Hey guys, Nick Sainert here for The Body Shop. I recently had an incredible massage from Dennis and his team at The Body Shop, and now a massage for you can possibly turn into a free massage for your mom. That's right, with every service you receive in April, your name is put into a drawing for a free massage gift certificate that can turn into a wonderful Mother's Day gift for the mom in your life. Book your appointment at thebodyshoplincoln.com and stop by their location at 48th and A. The Body Shop. A job, it's a career, and right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $24.11 per hour, which grows to $28.27 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $32.76 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today. The Empire brand is growing with ESC fabrication and sandblasting. ESC is your place for custom handrails, industrial and commercial painting, and more. ESC provides custom welding for aluminum and stainless steel and media blasting of all sorts. ESC is great attention to detail. They stick to deadlines and keep within your budget. If you can dream it, they can make it. Contact ESC Fabrication and Sandblasting in Waverly today at 531-207-9329.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mix Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical, and retirement benefits, paid time off, and we pay for CDL training. Apply today to earn an average total compensation of $50,000 to $60,000 your first year driving. From Nebco's beginnings in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
Repeat after me. I will not touch the fuse box.
I will probably not touch the fuse box.
Sip, do you remember what happened last time?
Yeah, I remember.
What happened?
Half of the city block lost power.
And?
My chicken condo went haywire.
That's right. The chickens ran wild. So what do we do instead?
Call Joe at Ambition Electric and let him handle everything. Look, saved on speed dial.
Ambition Electric, 402-217-3415 or online at ambitionelectric.com.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here. Summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
Motor Food is Lincoln's hardest rocking food truck and cafe. Motor Food creates old school comfort food with a 21st century twist and lots of rock and roll attitude. Try the barbecue pulled pork mac and cheese, the grilled chicken Firebird sandwich, a 100% all beef split grilled hot dog, and any version of funky fries. Stop by the cafe just behind Outback Steakhouse on 48th Street or catch the food truck out and about all spring and summer. Check out their menu, order carry out, or schedule catering at motorfoodtruck.com.
Getting experience did Jumpstart a meaningful career can be built, and education can cost a fortune. Luckily, AmeriCorps can be the solution. With AmeriCorps, you'll earn a stipend and education award while helping people. Plus, you'll gain professional skills and make connections to help you build your career. If you're ready to start a career you can be proud of, visit serve.nebraska.gov/service to find a program for you. Paid for by Serve Nebraska, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Now back to Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into the Fitness Fanatics. We are joined in studio by Becky Moratsky of Integrative Life Choices, who is one of our sponsors for the show. Well, I guess Farrell's is a sponsor, but another sponsor. So, all right, so we kind of this last half hour, we talked about your journey, kind of what you learned here in the last few years. But not only are you a member, you're also an instructor and coach for us. So what kind of made you decide to get into that?
Well, I will say, first of all, Becky is a born coach. So at Farrell's, coaches, our instructors are the ones leading the classes. And then most class times have a coach that kind of helps the 10-weekers. That's kind of what the coaches do. So they're two really different roles. A lot of times the instructors are just coming in and out. They're teaching different class times, whatever. The instructor's like the person there. And my main memory of Becky from her 10 weeks was the final 10-week testing. And Matt, her husband, was doing push-ups. And she is jumping up and down, clapping, cheering him on during his last minute of push-ups. So that was kind of my memory of Becky. So she's definitely a born coach. So you started as a coach, right?
I did start as a coach.
Yep.
And yeah, that desire just came from the people who supported me in my 10 weeks. And that just watching that, hey, here's this place where there's people who don't work here. They just come to do their work. It's on. They're invested in who I am as a person. And so naturally I did do that. Naturally, I do tend to lean into things like that. So it's a great match for who I am as a person. And I also at that time in my life was looking to make more connections with people. I didn't have a lot. And so coaching has helped me connect with almost everybody who walks in the door for 6 a.m. at our gym. So I get to know people that way as well. But the idea that someone, is willing to take the time to just even try and help someone who, and there's, wow. Woo. Okay. So there's different ways that you have to coach every single person that comes in that door. And so, I love that opportunity to get to know someone and, hey, what does this person need, and be able to kind of help them discover what they need to get to whatever their end goal is going to be. So, the team we have now, it's only week 2. I'm still getting to know them. And so they're kind of getting this is how I kind of get it started while I'm getting to know you type coaches. But last session, was a team that they really leaned into everything that we were doing. And so that is not just me helping them, but that's them renewing kind of my commitment to myself as well. So watching them go through that is important. So coaching keeps me accountable to myself, and I like doing that. It also feeds my need to support somebody else. So I do that at work. I do that at Farrell's, that ability to support people. And then instructing was something I would have never thought I could do. And so I do try to tell myself often, do the things you think you can't do. You have to try to do things you think you can't do. So at some point I was like, I think strength training instructing is something that I could do. I love strength training. It's my favorite part of the weeks.
Too.
Kickboxing, I always tell people kickboxing is like the cool kid. Everyone's so excited. It's loud, it's obnoxious, and people are jumping around and it's fun. So everyone loves to come to kickboxing. But strength training is like, you're not quite as cool. It's the theater kids. Let's just say that. They're going to be the ones that are like running the show when we're out there in the future. And strength training really gets you to that next goal. So I loved the idea that I was getting strong versus when I first started Farrell's, the idea that I needed to lose weight. So I thought about it, not for a year and a half. And then finally kind of broached the subject with you guys a little bit. And then you gave me that opportunity. And I love instructing. getting up there, putting workouts together. It took a long time to get to a point where I feel like I'm decent at it. I look back at my first
you're really
workouts.
good at it.
I look back at my first workouts and I'm like, oh goodness. But then we also have instructors that have been there for a long time, and I am so happy to steal things from the two of you and from them.
Remember, that's the big thing with our instructors. We all learn from each other, so it makes the training process really easy because you've already been trained by all the other instructors that came before you. So that's really that's our theme for the year for Farrell's and just corporate is iron sharpens iron. And like that is the most evident, I think, in instructing, because that's kind of what you do. Yeah. I'll be in a class and I'll be teaching, but then you see an instructor doing something that's not quite what you're saying. And you're like, oh, great. They're coming. Look at them right now. Right. They're coming up with something new. We're going to have to do this in one of their workouts. Like, what are you doing right now? I can see the wheels turning, you know? And so I think that's really cool. And no, you definitely, I am always so sore after your workouts, always. So I think you're a sneaky instructor, but it's not even sneaky. You do hard things. Like the class is hard.
I do. Like I said before, I'm not athletic, but I consider myself pretty tough. I'll whine the whole time I'm doing things, but I'm going to do it and I'm going to get done. I'm not going to be the fastest, but I'm going to do it. Like tricep push-ups are my favorite thing. And everybody whines every time I say that. We did them yesterday. I just love them because like you just feel that while you're doing it. So
It's true. That's why I like strength training too. The analogy where we always talk about how Jeff is the cheerleader and I'm like the science nerd. I think that applies very well to kickboxing and strength training too. Jeff is the kickboxing of Farrell's and I'm the strength training. But it's true. I think strength training is such a great opportunity to build mental toughness, you know, because you're gonna fail and we tend to not like to fail, you know, but you kind of have to fail to succeed sometimes.
For sure.
And kickboxing, you know, you literally do a combination and you immediately have a chance to get better at it and try it again. Where strength training, that behind the head press, you know, with that figure 8 band triceps, like that's really hard at first and you have to stick with it to get it down. It's not something that just like you do it once. Oh, that was weird. And then you do it the second time and it's better. It takes time, takes grit, mental toughness. I think that's what makes you a really good strength training instructor.
I think the coolest thing about our instructors, I believe we have like 42 instructors between both locations, not including us, is that everybody started with the 10-week challenge. So we all have kind of our own stories of why we started, why we want to instruct. But, you know, mainly the instructors and coaches, they instruct to give back. Like they remember their instructors during, like I did my 10-week challenge 15 years ago and I remember all my instructors. I remember all of them from the 830 group in Altoona from 2008. So they just, you know, make such a big impact. And even when I just instructed, we weren't owners, I'd see people at High B and they'd say, "Hey, Jeff, how's it going?" I mean, I wouldn't know who they were because I got up and I taught or I teach at different times. But, you know, so like the impression that, you know, or the lasting impression that you're giving people, even like think back to your teams from 3 years ago, they still remember who you are. They still remember your classes. Like I remember classes from 15 years ago. But a cool thing is, you know, we don't hire instructors off the street. We don't put ads out. Hey, Farrell's is looking for an instructor on Facebook. We don't do that. All of our instructors are homegrown from within the Farrell's program, which is cool. And, you know, we try to have our instructors go through, you know, 2 or 3 10-week challenges before they become an instructor. So they kind of, they take a lot of different classes, but they're also learning. And then it's cool to see people when they start instructing, they grow as an instructor and have their voice, and everybody's different. You know, that's what Nicole and I promote to our instructors is we want everybody to be different. We don't want every single instructor to be exactly the same. You know, somebody takes your class, it's different than taking Matt's class. Different than taking my class. Different
Except
than
that's
taking-
also not true because sometimes they steal stuff from each other.
Well, yeah.
Becky
Yeah.
with her super burpee that she stole from Matt a couple weeks ago.
It's a good one.
I know.
It's not as hard as you would think it should be, but it's
not.
a good one. Have you done super burpees?
I have not done a super burpee. And I was just in my head. And
Jeff will steal that.
I was trying to think of, I was going to ask Nicole what she's stolen from me. Oh, nothing. Anytime this
That's
is funny.
because you steal it from other people, so I've probably already stole it, but I've stole it from the originator, not from you.
Yeah, anytime I do something that I think is so cool, I'll come home and I'll tell her, and she's like, I did that in like 2011. Did you ever, she just came up with everything.
I did not. I don't think I came up with everything, but you think that everything you do is the latest and greatest.
Yeah, but you've been doing it for 10 years. But I don't ever take your classes.
We don't take each other's classes.
No,
I mean,
yeah, you wouldn't recognize
I
that.
probably haven't taken one of your classes for, I don't even
The
know
last
when the
time
last
you
time.
took my class was when Dan Beckman came.
Oh, yeah. And I stole
and
the class.
You stole the entire class. You came to my class in
I
the
did.
morning, and then the afternoon you
I
taught
did.
the exact same class, and you stole every single thing from that
I
workout.
did punch for punch. Yeah, that was when Pioneers was closed for a week while we were moving. I came and took her
Yeah,
class
so
at 6 a.m.
December 20,
Yep.
whatever.
So then I took it, and then I did it all week. So, well, hey, that's that's what you do.
That's why I
The
call you
instructors
Swiper.
take everybody's stuff, and I usually try to, I come up.
Most instructors give credit to the originator, but
I try to call that out when I do that.
No, I do. For there's a couple things I've swiped from Crystal that I'm like, now if you don't like this, you don't blame me. You can blame her, especially if she's in class.
That's how we all do that.
Yep.
We all take each other's stuff. It's cool. It makes it fun.
Yep. All right. Well, we're going to take a break here. We'll be back for our last segment coming up here on 93.7 The Ticket, Fitness Fanatics.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln by offering a number of services. From group homes for special to independent living and job training, you'll find intellectual and developmental disability services your loved one needs to live a fulfilling life. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a more rewarding career, learn more about available positions. Learn more about services for your loved ones or employment today at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Given over $900 million back to our state since 1993. It's gone to improve our environment, education, and state fair.
Over $900 million? That's something.
I'll say.
Hey, I have a great idea for a commercial. Have someone count to 900 million out loud.
That would take 28 years. Not a good idea.
I don't know, with a little background music and some sound effects.
There's another studio down the hall. Why don't you get started?
The Nebraska Lottery, 30 years of building a better Nebraska.
The Nebraska Lottery has given over $900 million back to our state since 1993. The proceeds have helped protect and improve Nebraska's environment, funded need-based scholarships for Nebraska students, and maintained and improved at the state fair.
It's terrific. You should put that on your website.
It already is. Just click on beneficiaries in the menu.
Menu? You guys serve food too?
Maybe you should get off your feet for a while.
The Nebraska Lottery, 30 years of building a better Nebraska.
General contractor, business owners, property owners. The success of your business requires doing business with the right people. And the right people, when it comes to drywall, acoustical ceilings, and specialty products are Drywall. Kevin and his crew will give your project the response and attention it deserves.
You'll get all of the attention to detail and quality that you would expect from someone who's been in the business for 30 years. For your new builds, build-outs, or renovations, reach out to Kevin at premierdw.com. Premier Drywall in Lincoln.
Experience the Landmark difference with the next level of dealer support. Landmark, your local John Deere dealer, continually works to have parts on hand the first time you walk in the door. Our internal system means we can get the parts to you same or next day to keep you up and running. At Landmark, we understand time is money. Get more uptime with our after-hours parts and service support on the phone or in the field. Our sales, precision ag, parts, and service teams are ready to serve you this planting season. Stop by your local Landmark today to experience the Landmark difference.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive side Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals. Bagels and Joe is the perfect place for breakfast or lunch in April. Try the pesto cream cheese on any breakfast sandwich. And try the Karma Latte, as 10% of proceeds from that drink will go to the Teammates Mentoring Program. 4 locations in Lincoln and 1 in Seward. Bagels and Joe.
Put lawn irrigation on automatic. Think Judson Irrigation for worry-free service to Lincoln homeowners and business community. Judson Irrigation will turn on your sprinkler system in the spring, repair or redesign as needed, and turn it off in the fall. For service to orphan sprinklers, Judson Irrigation. They'll never forget you.
Call the Judson Irrigation Orphanage 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at gainatrucking.com.
Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary.
We were trying to convince Austin, who will be having a child in October, to name his child Herbie.
Why do we want to name it Herbie?
Because we want to have a real-life Herbie mascot, and it'll stay within the family.
Yep. Austin's just the patriarch. This is the first Herbie.
And we found out today that Herbert is a family name.
It's a family name.
Therefore, it's meant to.
Austin's going to be the patriarch for Herbie.
Weekdays from 1 to 2 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Now back to Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back in. We did have a comment on the stream here from Ben Garver. He said, you guys should do a live remote from the Lincoln Marathon, half marathon. Well, Ben, if I wish somebody from the ticket would say, Jeff, you're doing a live remote, because then I wouldn't have to do it.
No, you can't. You're not getting out of it.
But I'm actually going to be involved in the half marathon.
Yeah.
Running it,
yes,
walking it, crawling it, rolling in it. I mean, all kinds of things. So, no, if Mark or Jake or DP were like, hey, you guys need to do a live remote, I'd be like, all right, where do we set up? Let's go. I'm ready.
I'll sacrifice my bib.
Of course, Harrison, you said we could put GoPros on and just do our live remote while we're on the course.
I'm still sold on that. If you could give Nicole one as well, we got a couple angles that you can switch to.
And we can do interviews, like we can stop
you.
at people's houses and be like, hey, we're on the ticket. Do you have anything for us to eat here? Like hydrate or, I mean.
I'm telling you, Jeff would not be fun to watch. This is what Jeff does. He listens to music really loud. He sometimes will not air guitar, but air drum to music as he's running. And then it's just a lot of shuffling.
When do you get through long runs then?
Huh?
I feel like everyone always thinks about something on long runs.
I listen to music or a podcast
You
or
talk
I
the whole
talk.
time.
Yeah. So when we are like Becky's doing the half also. And so Becky and I will be together. I will talk the whole time. She'll talk a little bit. And then in the last 3 miles, she gets angry. And then and then you can't encourage her at all. And so she just kind of goes into a shell and I will keep talking. So that's what will happen.
And
if
I'm
you need
just by myself the whole time. Like I don't
by choice.
I can't.
You
talk
won't
to
stay
people.
with me.
Ever. We try to run together. My legs are so much longer
Whatever.
than hers. It's like for me to stay at the same pace, I have to take shorter steps.
Although somehow we
Yeah,
still
that's always
end
the
with
problem.
very similar paces.
Well, so usually
Overall.
you have a better pace than I do.
Yeah.
So
Because you start off real fast and then you get slow, and I start off slower and kind of stay slow because we're both slow.
yeah,
right
we're
now.
not, like I said, my goal is to beat Harrison's friend. He's doing the marathon. I'm doing the half.
I don't think you will. You've not
if
earned
you do,
that.
that's impressive.
Yeah,
I will say
that's
'cause
what.
he's an animal.
And you have not earned the right to think that you could do that. Now, if you had been training, yes, but let's be realistic.
You know, the thing is, though, we do work out every day.
Yeah, we do. Becky was talking about that in the break.
And I've done probably 50 half marathons in my life of training for fulls and doing halves.
Yeah, we wanted to make sure we are not encouraging people who
to
have
just fall out of bed and do it.
No,
Not a good idea.
And again, we're completers, not competers. So we're not going out. We have barely trained. We're not going out trying to get PRs. We are going to walk a lot of it probably, and we're going to have fun. If you run with me, we'll at least have fun.
Super fun.
Yeah,
It is. I know people
We'll
are
have
like,
fun.
what? But it is. It's
Well,
super fun.
and on that Husker 5K we did last year, like I was running with our son, and we were all business. I mean,
and you missed out on the fun.
I know. I chatted with some of the players on our way, but I wasn't stopping. And then I get to the end, and Nicole's like taking selfies with Fred Hoiberg and like some of the players, and we're just like, oh, okay. So you took all these pictures with like Brad Banks, and I mean, you know, New Ellie, and like you're just doing selfies, and then there I am just trying to survive.
Yep. Have fun. If you want to have fun, run with me. If you want to listen to shuffling, run with Jeff. And every time you say something, because yeah,
Well, I have headphones in.
I know I do too, but one headphone.
Yes, I know. Anne gave some good advice. She said, if you're going to run with headphones, you run with one headphone in.
Why is that?
Well, because then you can hear like the cheering and the people saying,
Yeah, you're missing out on the.
You know, you have your name on the front of your bib. So mine says Jeff on there.
Yeah.
And I was funny when we first started doing runs a long time ago. I'd be like, how do people know my name? Like, there's Go Jeff. And I'm like, I don't know this person. And then I'm like, oh, it says it right there. So the professional, you know, there's professional runners.
Yeah,
and then
she
there's-
doesn't use headphones at all, Ann said.
Yeah, she's
but-
old school, she
Yeah.
said. Then there's professional race cheers. The professional cheers will call your name.
Yeah.
They're
and you miss
professional.
out if you have both
right.
earbuds in.
Yes. And usually, like when we get to the last stretch, I'll take my headphones out
Mhm.
so then I can hear all the, you know, cheering
Well,
and
and
stuff
it's
like that.
I was just giving our son a hard time yesterday too, because he wears big headphones and he would wear those when he run. And so it's funny that you said that too, Harrison, because as a man, it doesn't make sense to you why you wouldn't run that way. But when I run for safety as a woman, it's smart to run with one headphone in so you can still hear what's going on. So
that is a good point.
Yes.
I didn't even think about that.
Right. I know. And neither did Ben. I'm like, Ben, I can't wear. He's like, well, just you can have the ambient sound on or whatever, these fancy headphones. And I'm like, it's the look, it's the illusion. I don't want people to think that I'm not aware of my surroundings. Even if I am, like one earbud in is going to make me much more aware of my surroundings, and it's going to show other people that I'm aware of my surroundings. So for our female listeners, that's,
sure.
you know, and a learning opportunity for
Yeah.
boys.
Extra things to think about.
Well, I mean, you know, I said
true.
I try to do. Yeah, I'm just in my own world. That's all about survival. Once I start,
Mhm.
I go. I'm 1
It
mile
will
in.
be
I
for
got
us, too.
12.1 to go. But all right. Well, thank you, Becky, for taking the
Yes.
time to join us. It was very informative. Give integrative life choices. ilc.net/careers if you're looking to make a difference in somebody's life. She would love to talk to you. Again, we'll see you next week here on Fitness Fanatics. Everybody have a great week.